What was the first thing you noticed after watching Kong Skull Island? Well, here's everything you probably missed. In today's video, we continue our series on the MonsterVerse with a deep dive into the 2017 film Kong Skull Island. This action-packed adventure throws us headfirst onto a mysterious island shrouded in mist, where a legendary ape reigns supreme. But Kong Skull Island is more than just giant ape fights. Although there are plenty of those, it's also a film that explores themes of war, respect for nature, and the burden of power. But before we get into any of that, let's do a quick recap of what happened in this movie. The film opens with a bang, literally, as we're thrown into the heart of a World War II dogfight. This opening scene sets the stage for the film's exploration of war and its consequences. We meet Hank Marlowe, an American pilot and Japanese pilot, Gunpei Ikari, who parachute onto an island in the South Pacific after a dogfight and engage in close combat until the fight is interrupted by, you guessed it, a giant ape. Yeah, that's our guy. Make sure to remember this guy, Marlowe, as he'll be important later. Fast forward to 1973. The Vietnam War is winding down, and a team of scientists arrive on the island, led by the ambitious Bill Randa. Interestingly, Randa's also the head of the US government organization Monarch. Here, they plan a search for primeval creatures on the recently discovered Skull Island, calling it a seismic expedition of the island. And right behind them is a group of ex-soldiers, who are in turn led by the trigger-happy Lieutenant Colonel Preston Packard. Other members of this militant group include tracker and former British Special Air Service Captain James Conrad and anti-war photographer Mason Weaver. This dynamic creates immediate tension. Randa represents ruthless exploitation in the name of scientific discovery, while Packard embodies the destructive nature of war. Now, it's important to understand that the Vietnam War era in the movie isn't just a backdrop. Rather, it kinda dictates the narrative. Packard's squad, fresh off the war, embodies a restless aggression. Their disregard for orders and obsession with firepower mirrors the escalation and destructive nature of the conflict. In fact, Packard's relentless pursuit of Kong feels like a continuation of war, a need to conquer an enemy at any cost. Meanwhile, Marlowe, a World War II castaway, and the guy from the opening scene who we meet later on in the story, and now older, offers a weary perspective. He seeks understanding and survival, not domination, having spent a long time on the island with the native Iwi tribe. So, unsurprisingly, things go south quickly for the team as Packard's men disregard every law of nature, in turn angering the island's protector, the mighty Kong. And it's here that the true spectacle begins. Kong's introduction is awe-inspiring, showcasing his immense size and raw power. However, it also raises a question. Who's the real villain here? Are humans the invaders, disrupting Kong's domain? Or is Kong the savage beast, attacking anything he perceives as a threat? Well, far from that. Kong is essentially a misunderstood giant, not a mindless rampage machine. Remember that opening fight? He protects his people from predators, including a race of subterranean reptile creatures dubbed skull crawlers, who were awakened from the bombing and responsible for killing Kong's entire species, leaving him as the last of his kind. The explorer's noisy arrival disrupts the balance, and Kong reacts instantly to this threat. Even his helicopter swats? Is self-defense against the deafening choppers. By the film's end, we see Kong not as a beast, but a burdened guardian, locked in an epic battle to protect his island home and its people. So after the attack by Kong, the survivors are scattered across the island, forming two distinct groups. Packard's group, consumed by vengeance and a desire to conquer Kong, searches for the transport helicopter piloted by Major Jack Chapman. They intend to use the weapons on board to kill the ape, and it doesn't take a genius to see that this side represents the destructive side of humanity. On the other hand, Conrad, Weaver, and the others form a slightly different group. They later meet Marlowe and the local Iwi tribe, who tell them about the giant ape Kong and his role as the island's prime protector from predators like the skull crawlers. Conrad's group essentially respects the island's ecosystem and seeks to coexist with Kong. This group represents a more hopeful perspective, one that emphasizes understanding and cooperation. As Conrad's group ventures deeper into the island, we encounter a diverse array of prehistoric creatures. So, do you still remember the opening scene? Well, let's return to that. Marlowe was in combat with this Japanese guy, Ikari. But we later find out from Marlowe that they actually became friends, but a skullcrawler killed Ikari. Back to the movie, Jack Chapman is devoured by a skullcrawler, while another, Nieves, is torn apart by carnivorous birds as they sailed down a river trying to reach and regroup with Packard's team. Reunited with a vengeful Packard, tensions soar. Marlowe leads them through a sobering discovery, a mass grave of dinosaurs, and what appears to be Kong's kin and lost family. This encounter hints at the monstrous skullcrawlers as the real threat, not Kong. And speaking of threats, the first skullcrawler emerges at this point, a horrifying testament to the island's dangers. Chaos erupts as the creature attacks. In the ensuing struggle, Brenda is killed and Weaver, in a moment of quick thinking, triggers a flammable gas pocket, eliminating the beast in a fiery explosion. Packard, fueled by grief and vengeance over the death of his comrade Jack Chapman, discovers his true purpose: to kill Kong. Marlowe and Brooks try to reason with him, explaining that eliminating Kong would unleash the skullcrawler threat upon the island, as Kong is, in fact, the only protector of the island's ecosystem. However, blinded by rage, Packard refuses to listen. And so, our characters split. Again, Packard and his men arm themselves with weapons recovered from Chapman's chopper, setting a deadly trap for Kong at a nearby lake. Meanwhile, Conrad, Weaver, and the others head back to the extraction point. But fate has other plans. Conrad and Weaver have a chance encounter with Kong himself. Witnessing his gentle nature firsthand, they become determined to save the misunderstood ape. Conrad and Weaver's close encounter with Kong signifies the immense power and vulnerability of nature. Despite his size and strength, Kong is revealed to be a gentle giant, peacefully feeding on vegetation. This challenges the initial perception of Kong as a mindless beast and highlights the delicate balance on the island. By witnessing his peaceful behavior firsthand, Conrad and Weaver are convinced of the need to protect him. On the other side of the island, Packard's plan unfolds. Luring Kong with seismic charges, they unleash a barrage of flaming napalm, incapacitating the mighty ape. Just as Packard prepares to deliver the final blow, Conrad, Weaver, and Marlowe arrive. A tense standoff ensues as they attempt to reason with the remaining soldiers. Suddenly, the earth trembles. The true monstrous threat emerges: the giant skullcrawler. A colossal battle unfolds as the monstrous creature overpowers a weakened Kong. But amidst the chaos, humanity steps in. Conrad and Weaver, alongside some of the more level-headed soldiers, provide crucial assistance, tipping the scales in Kong's favor. In an epic display of strength, Kong emerges victorious, vanquishing the monstrous threat. The survivors, forever marked by their experiences, reach the extraction point and depart the island, leaving Kong to reclaim his domain as king. How does Kong's story contrast with Godzilla's? In the MonsterVerse, Godzilla and Kong embody contrasting roles as forces of nature. Godzilla is a silent guardian, awakened by humanity's nuclear testing, who restores balance globally through sheer power. In contrast, Kong protects Skull Island, forming bonds with humans who understand his role. While Godzilla is revered from afar, Kong's relationships show a capacity for coexistence. Both are solitary, last of their kind, burdened by protecting their domains. Misunderstood by humans, Godzilla's power is respected, while Kong's is perceived as threatening. Their existence illustrates the complexities of cohabiting with immense power, shaping their lonely yet pivotal roles as nature's guardians. What does this say about humanity's relationship with nature? In the MonsterVerse, Kong and Godzilla embody contrasting perspectives on humanity's relationship with nature. Kong, the king of Skull Island, symbolizes the potential for coexistence. His interactions with Conrad and Weaver reveal a gentle and protective nature. contrasting with the destructive impulses of characters like Packard. Kong's burden as the guardian against skullcrawlers showcases a nuanced understanding of his role in maintaining balance. In contrast, Godzilla emerges as a force of nature in response to humanity's nuclear testing, acting as a deterrent to restore balance. His intervention against the Mutos is a consequence of human actions, highlighting Godzilla's role as a natural arbiter rather than a savior driven by benevolence. The films depict humanity's dual nature, exemplified by characters like Marlowe, Conrad, and Weaver, who advocate for respect and understanding versus Packard's aggressive and destructive approach. The unleashed skullcrawlers and Mutos serve as cautionary elements, emphasizing the need for a more harmonious relationship with nature. Kong and Godzilla reflect the delicate balance required for coexistence, urging us to reconsider our impact on the natural world shared with these mighty protectors. This is the second part of a multi-part MonsterVerse series, where we explore the hidden themes, subjects, myths, and philosophy behind these movies. In our next videos, we will further draw parallels between these worlds and identify their common grounds. If you also haven't seen any of the MonsterVerse movies, this is the time to get started, so we can have even better conversations. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. See you in the next one.